Ever wondered how to reball the CPU on a Poco X3 Pro? It's a fascinating process, combining precision, patience, and a little bit of courage. So buckle up and enjoy the journey into the microscopic world of electronics. First things first, reballing a CPU is not a simple task. It involves delicately removing the old solder balls from a CPU and replacing them with new ones. But why, you might ask? Well, over time, these solder balls can crack or degrade, causing your device to malfunction. Reballing can bring your CPU back to life, restoring its performance and longevity. Now let's delve into the step-by-step process. Step 1 involves preheating the motherboard to a temperature of around 180 degrees Celsius. This helps to soften the existing solder balls and makes them easier to remove. Next, we move on to step 2, which is all about applying flux. Flux is a cleaning agent that aids in the soldering process by preventing oxidation. Apply a generous amount of flux around the CPU area. Step 3 involves using a heat gun to heat the CPU area. This further softens the solder balls, making them easier to remove. Now on to step 4, which is the actual removal of the CPU. Using a pair of tweezers, carefully lift the CPU from the motherboard. Remember, this is a delicate operation, and any mishandling can result in damage. Step 5 is cleaning the CPU and the motherboard. This is where you remove the old solder balls and any residual flux. Use a solder wick and a soldering iron to remove the old solder balls. Step 6 is the application of the new solder balls. Apply flux to the CPU and place a stencil over it. Then, using a soldering iron, apply new solder balls through the stencil. Finally, step 7 is reattaching the CPU to the motherboard. Again, apply flux to the CPU area on the motherboard, align the CPU, and use a heat gun to reattach it. So to summarize, the reballing process involves preheating the motherboard, applying flux, heating the CPU area, removing the CPU, cleaning the CPU and the motherboard, applying new solder balls, and reattaching the CPU. Remember, this process requires precision, patience, and a good understanding of electronics. If you're not comfortable with this, it's always best to seek professional help. After all, your Poco X3 Pro is a sophisticated piece of technology, and it deserves the best care possible. Reballing the CPU on your Poco X3 Pro can help breathe new life into your device, ensuring many more years of use. So whether you're an electronics enthusiast or a professional, reballing is a valuable skill to have. It's not just about fixing a problem, it's about understanding the inner workings of your device and giving it the care it needs to perform at its best.